Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Go by One Chief Compadre and watching Cheap Stocks TV, where on my channel we're talking about savings, investing, and even politics. So, I just ran across this article, New York Post, that is talking about that ugly monster in the room, inflation. So, here is an article that talks about the average family and what they're going through and dealing with inflation, and how it's taking a toll on their finances. So the real cause of inflation to average American household, an extra $175 a month. Can you believe that? I can. Boy, when I go to the grocery store, I see those prices. Man, I almost make you want to cuss. But here we go. So over the past couple of months, Allison, a wife and mother of a toddler and teenager in Chicago, says she's been spending about $50 more each week on groceries to feed her family, and that's at a discount supermarket chain, Aldi's. Yes, I am familiar with Aldi because I shop there on a weekly, and that's supposed to be a good place to save money and also find things that are also healthy as well that you normally don't find in a lot of these other grocery stores. Let's continue. I used to spend $70 a week, but all of a sudden this summer, I noticed that I couldn't leave the store without spending at least $120, said Allison, who works in education. Well, Allison, here's the secret to deal with that. This is one way to deal with inflation when it comes to grocery shopping. Have a list. I said it. Write a list out on exactly what you need, so you don't spend as much each week on things you don't need. You get where I'm going with this? So that helps you budget when you have a list. Because sometimes when we go grocery shopping, we end up buying things we really don't need because we already have those things at home. So we can avoid doing that. We could probably save a few extra dollars. That's one way to deal with inflation. Let's continue. All right, so like millions of Americans whose income has not kept pace with inflation, which is a whole lot of Americans, up 5.3% in August compared with a year ago. Allison and her family are feeling the pinch of the rising cost of living and giving up some things just to make ends meet. Well, in the day and age, you have to sacrifice sometimes in order to keep a roof over your head, food in your stomach, and clothes on your back, right? The necessities, the basics. But one other way to deal with that is to start investing in the stock market. Yes. You can't, like they say, you can't get rich just by having a 9-to-5. Other way to have an income is through investing in the stock market, right? Most likely you want to invest in the S&P 500, and there are S&P 500 stocks that are much cheaper than the ones that majority of these YouTubers give you, like QQQ, VOO, S&PY, right? Sound familiar? There are companies, stocks that are part of the S&P 500 that you can buy for even less than $100. You just have to do the research. And when the stock market go down, that is opportunity. That is not the time to get scared and sell. That is the time to buy at a discount. Let's continue. Her family is scribbling now. There are no more splurges like going to Home Depot to buy an extra plant or eat out, Allison said. I mean, how many plants you need, right? If you got a few, just work with that and continue to save as much as you can. Now, eating out, if you find yourself eating out 4 to 5 times a week, then you need to cut back and just either once or twice a week. And the rest of the time, you should be cooking. Especially if you know how to cook, you and your spouse, or you should be cooking. Save as much as you can, because think about it. When you go out, you're going to have to buy food for you, your spouse, your children, and on top of that, depending on the restaurant, you also got to give a tip. So that adds up. So if you can limit that to a certain amount and keep majority of that money towards your groceries or saving, do so. Let's continue. So, spurred by supply shortages and massive government spending, inflation has become an added tax on middle-class Americans coming out of the COVID lockdown. Of course. Do you really think that the government is not going to try to get their money back from all that stimulus that they gave out? Do you really think that you're getting that stimulus for free? I don't think so. Basically, the stimulus was a way to help boost the economy. Once it did that, it led to things becoming more expensive, right? And not only that, you have a lot of people who not going back to work, right? So some of these jobs still need people to work in these jobs. And one thing people are not talking about is the 700,000 people who died. Yes, we have issues with daycare. Yes, a lot of these companies are not willing to pay workers more. And yes, people are fearful of going back to work, but no one is talking about those who passed away, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of those people had jobs and need to be filled now, right? Let's continue. All right, so for households earning U.S. median annual income of about $70,000, the current inflation rate has forced them to spend another $175 a month on food, fuel, and housing, according to Mark Zanni, chief economist of Motley's Analytics. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that those strategies I gave you are a good way to help you to fight against inflation, or do you have some other ideas? If so, put them down below. Comment, subscribe, and share with family and friends, especially those who are dealing with inflation issues. And on your way out, make sure you hit that notification bell. And remember, people, there's two types of people. There's smart people and then there's wise people. Remember, smart people don't live that long. Wise people do. Have a great day. Be safe out there.